When Project Motor Racing was released last year, I was really disappointed with the car setup, with the physics, with the force feedback, and quite some other features. But in this video, we are testing the new patch for GT3s and GT4s. And the difference is that I got invited by Serta from the Vroom together with Aris, former developer of ACC and Assetto Corsa. How could I say no? So in this video, we're gonna explore the new physics, how I almost cannot believe what we are experiencing here in this video. So this video is gonna be spread out in kind of two parts. The first part is going to be about this physics engine of Project Motor Racing. Aris might have said in different podcasts that he's very optimistic and he sees the potential of it. Well, if you want to go a layer deeper in that potential, then you will see that in this video. We're also going to do a lot of setup work. We're going to change dampers, differential, and you can see the absolute beauty and the absolute depth this simulation can provide. And if the depth isn't special enough, it's especially important how fast they develop this for the GT3s and GT4s in Project Motor Racing. Let's get into it. The Sim Racing Expo last year, I said to my friend, oh man, if this actually everything is working properly, then we get real this engineer feel, you know, with corner weights and all that stuff that, you don't see in Assetto Corsa or in Le Mans Ultimate, these corner weights and stuff, so.
But here's an explanation that is needed. Both in Assetto Corsa Competition and in Le Mans Ultimate, all that stuff works already. But by choice of the user interface, we said this stuff becomes way too difficult for the normal user. Normally, even in real tracks, the race engineer goes to the mechanics and says, this is the right head that I need, this is the camber that I need, this is the toe that I need, make up your magic.
Yeah.
Goes away, the mechanics go there, lower the car, raise the car, change the camber, makes everything for you, and then comes back with a sheet of paper and tells you, hey, here it is your values. That's that. This is what we simulate in competition and in Le Mans.
That's good.
Here you can see that everything in live happening, what's going on in PMR, which is great to see that everything works, but it creates other problems because everything that you change, you still have to do the mechanical change everything again. Anyway, so now you have less camber, okay?
Yeah.
Now, go back to the track, heat up a little bit the tires. You should notice instantly more understeer, but you should be able also to give more pressure to your brakes without locking.
Okay. Okay, they ghost. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And these are these kinds of things that from a realism standpoint, it's nice to have always the contact, but in a pit, like ghosting, you know, it's easier. Makes life easier, right? Before we move on, a big shout out to Serta from the Vroom YouTube channel. He has introduced me to Aris, and he's been part of this massive recording. This is basically cut up footage from a lot of testing that we did. Check out the description because this footage comes out of a lot bigger videos where we discuss a lot of other subjects about this update. Let's move on.
Yeah, it makes life easier, exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
you already noticed there is more on.
Yeah.
So it is a very, very sensitive engine. It really understands any changes you do, and it really reacts. So this has always been a very nice thing. That you can see that you can press even harder on the brakes now.
Yeah, I with cold tires, I'm
and
stopping,
it's cold tires.
Yeah.
So you can see how sensitive it is on normal, setup changes.
Yeah, and I mean, I can already see that if you're on a track with lots of corners and not really a hard braking zone, you're looking more at more camber.
Exactly. You go at Monza, that you need to brake for high speed straight, go for less camber.
Yeah.
So you can see how the, and maybe you can do the rear end stiffer so you can make the car rotate. Oh, you lock the rear end. You downshifted.
Yeah, I needed. I was a bit. That's a little bit of my GT3 habit. That. Well, we can change the car. I think this is already. I already felt that difference. That's really cool.
All right, let's go to the GT4.
I could see the whole maze with this supercar already. Like how much you can tweak and do, and this is something that wasn't in the previous patches, was it? This is like completely. How do you get all of that stuff into this update? How much work does that take?
So here's the situation. The big advantage and luck is that we have already a physics engine that can simulate all that stuff.
Okay.
So it's not like we had to do all that stuff from scratch. It's already in there.
Okay. Interesting.
There is an incredible base. The core physics engine is really, really complex, highly evolved, and very realistic, in my opinion. It's one of the, I believe, top 3-4 physics engine out there. I cannot say
what kind of physics engines are in the top 4 as well. Then
I would definitely say absolutely iRacing, Air Factor 2, Le Mans Ultimate, and Assetto Corsa Evo. And I would put the Hadron physics engine PMR up there.
Okay.
If not better on some things, worse on others. I don't think there is a physics engine that's absolute better. I think all of them are like do a couple of things better than the other, a couple of things worse than the other, and it just move around.
It's what you choose for, yeah? Does
I can give you an example for that, very, very clear example, that Assetto Corsa 1, when it came out, okay, it didn't have a better tire model than Air Factor 2, for example, okay? But it had a much better active systems simulation than Air Factor 2. It had active differentials, it had active anti-roll bars, it had active rear wheel steering. All that stuff in Air Factor 2 wasn't even possible to simulate because the core engine needed to be written about this. The focus of each one was different.
Yeah.
But when you say that, for example, Assetto Corsa 1 didn't have as good a tire model as Air Factor 2, the difference was not like, 10 times less.
No.
It was like
close.
10% less, something like that, or 50% less. And the same goes into the things that Air Factor 2 was missing, and so on and so forth. The same happening with Assetto Corsa Competizione, Evo, Air Factor 2, Le Mans Ultimate now that has a fantastic, hybrid system.
Yeah.
iRacing, everything. Now, the fact that you have a physics engine doesn't mean that every time you're able also to implement everything to the depth that is necessary. I'll give you an example. PMR's hybrid cars, the super hypercars, have an incredibly complex hybrid system.
Yeah.
I would risk to say that it is even more complex than LMU. We actually simulate an ICE engine not by a data table of power and torque, but by actual, camshafts and advance of the injection and pistons and stuff like that. It's bonkers.
Isn't that like crazy CPU? Like a very limited on CPU. What you can do then, maybe.
Exactly. So you can understand how much complex it is and optimize in order to run.
Yeah, and to change it as well.
Exactly. So here's my point. The fact that we have it and we try to simulate, and I think you could say that until like the previous before that patch, our hypercars were not up to the same level as LMU, showcases that sometimes you go over with the simulation and it's very hard to achieve though fine-tuning of the whole configuration.
Yeah.
The same thing here with the tires. One of the things that we're doing right now is we sit down with the amazing handling team and we say, no, that's not enough. We have to go farther in detail. We have to take care of every single detail and push the configuration harder because that is what takes out the character.
Yeah.
So you said, hey, all of that was not here before. I could not feel it, and now I've
Yeah.
It's going in and change the small parameters again and again and again, checking again the real data you have, checking again the documentation, the scientific paper, saying no, that little 3-digit after the 0 needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And it needs to be configured with all the other 200 parameters so that it works together well.
Yeah.
And once you achieve that, this is where the detail comes out and the character of the tire, the character of the cabs comes out, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I feel things that I've never
Yeah. Like I said it in a previous video of mine with the VR of Assetto Corsa Evo, like, what did they do? It looked like they hit the switch. So that's actually the point. All the setup stuff and like bump stops and camber and whatever, compared to how Project Motor Racing before was, now all of a sudden there's so much added. It's like they flipped the switch and implemented everything car setup related, which is amazing. Important, especially when you have more and more cars in the game that like the flavor, right? Like this is so different because. But I have a question about the engine sounds, because they feel to me at this moment like there's just some same frequency that I keep hearing, or the amount of like braking volume and the gearbox volume. And is there a plan that's gonna be changed? Because for instance, this Toyota, to me, forgive me if this is not true, but for me it sounds the same as the Aston Martin GT3. For instance, if I switch back, it's like, is that something that's going to be addressed? Because I think it's very important for the experience itself. But
no, absolutely. So the number one thing that all our artist departments are working right now is fine-tune, improve whatever is possible. Specifically for the sounds, I can tell you that right now the team is working like crazy on a couple of aspects. One, for example, is adding reverb on various tracks. This is going to be very important because you go close, to a wall, you can hear the reverb. The other thing is having sliders to change the volume of some aspect of the sounds that you hear. For example, tires, you can possibly in the future raise the volume of the tires or on the engine, lower it, and so on and so forth. Because here's the thing, you might say, oh, why don't you do that one solution for everybody? Well, the problem is that I have 20 euros headphones. You have 1,000 euros headphones, and I don't know, an engineer has 10,000 euro headphones, I don't know, full surround 7. So every user has a different configuration. So you need to give them something to change wherever is possible the balance of what you hear.
Yeah.
Or even easier, I might have even good headphones, but I'm deaf. Because after 20 years of sim racing, I cannot hear all the frequencies. So I need something to help me on that and, boost some frequencies more than others.
So
that said, on the same time, to answer specifically also your question, we go back into every car that we have, and depending on the sources that we can find, we're going to improve the sounds, the bass sounds as well. So that should come at some point to say, all right, you know what? Now the Supra doesn't sound like the Aston anymore. For that reason. So it's practically doing Project Motor Racing 2, but we keep it 1, and we just keep on working on it on a long term. We really, for one, excited because we see the results, and we see that the community supports us really well right now.
The brake ducts. Can they help me to cool down the tires?
Absolutely. Yes. They now work like that, and obviously full open brake ducts will take off like 3 to 4 kilometers per hour on a top speed Monza-like track. Yeah. While full closed, obviously they're gonna help you out with that, but full closed, I mean, try it. Put the brake ducts to 1.
I mean, I ask a question and it's yes, that's that's good.
This is what we will be trying to do from now on.
For every car class.
Things that you expect for every car. We need to update a lot of car classes, of course, but this is what we will be trying to do.
No, but it is then important that, if you want to feel those changes, then they should do that supercar or the GT4 or the GT3 Um, Because I can already see people, I'm always only driving this car, it's not on this car, but that's going to take some time, obviously.
It's coming, it's coming. It takes the time that needed. Honestly, I think we are very fast on doing that because, you know, we did the full GT3, GT4s and Supercars in like 2 months, while to arrive at this level of detail before we needed 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's
this is obviously a lot of data.
So what Aris said to me on the tires was closing the brake ducts fully and see how that affects my braking behavior and tire heat. You can see on the bottom, those are my temperatures. So the tires are cold, right? I'm not gonna bore you with all this footage also throughout this video, but I'm gonna explain what happens with the tire heat. So I'll heat them up. Now you see what's happening? My front brakes are starting to fade because of the heat. So for instance, my front brakes are on fire now and my rear brakes are actually working and I basically cannot drive the car anymore. So here again, my brakes are super hot. I take my braking point, try to turn into the corner, and I have oversteer because the fading effect.
Too hot. Brakes are too hot. Bring them back into the window. Lift early into the corners.
Awesome.
Now you can see also you arrived at 2.13 bar. That's because the inner air is so.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to the suspension, you bring back to something like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Go to the suspension and take down the fast bumper rebound.
Oh, the fast one. Okay.
Yeah. Make them 1, 2, whatever.
On the front and the back?
Yeah, why not? Go out and have a look at what's going to happen.
So I'm automatically on new tires? How does this work?
Yeah, it goes automatically on new tires. This is something that we want to work in the future so that you can use a specific set of tires, but
I'll say
other priorities for
now.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, I already, like before we recorded this, I already feel that the car is like, it's on the bump stops, you know? It's not stopping because of the low bump.
Yeah.
And it's like very floaty all of a sudden. Like it's like, you know, like they're broken.
Yeah, it's bouncing around.
Yeah.
It's one of the best simulations out there, in my opinion, of dampers. So it's really good to be able to, you know, set up the car with the dampers properly.
It's also, isn't the dampers something that the real race car teams can really quickly adjust with just clicks?
Yes.
And they can bring that to other tracks very, like a quick thing they can do, right? It's not like maybe
absolutely
a big difference.
It's also a lot of black magic, and it's also very influenced by the driver feelings and input, so it's also subjective. It's really hard to, there is no definitive answer on dampers, honestly.
No. I've noticed myself that and is the slow rebound, I don't know if this is the right way of thinking, but I always think like if I see a fast, slow, or like a low value slow rebound on the rear, I see that we get a lot of fast pitching movement under the braking. So the diffuser is up in the air quickly. And this could, and for me, the way I think about that is like, that's gonna give me a very quick aerodynamic shift frontwards, which could make it very unstable on entries. But the upside of it is that we have such a compliant mechanical platform because the tire wants to be on the track again.
So the on the GT4s, the aerodynamics are less important.
Okay.
So you can use the dampers to actually change the balance of the car in terms of mechanical grip. But on the GT3s, as you said, you go into more extreme damping settings. For example, usually at the front, you want a very stiff bump.
Yeah.
Stiffer than the rebound, for example. Because you don't want the car to dive so much, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of front end dynamic bias. Here on a GT4, you can be a little bit more traditional, let's say, with the dampers.
Okay.
And make sure that the dampers give you the correct mechanical grip.
Yeah. Because
characteristics.
now I stiffen them up. I believe they go up to. And it's also really nice to have the circle that explains to me how much of the slider I am. Because I remember doing setup work with the preload, like 10, 20, but then later I figured out I was doing only like 0. whatever % because it went up to 300 and whatever.
Exactly.
So that's good.
Go to the engine and drivetrain.
Okay.
Yeah, and put the preload to a very low number, like 40.
Yeah.
And see if you can raise the ramp ankles. Reminder, in PMR we don't have percentage of lock, we have ramp angles. Ramp angles are the opposite of percentage. The higher the number, the less lock you have.
So it's more open on a high value then.
It's more open on a high value.
Oh,
So
that's confusing.
Yeah, but it's probably the mechanical way of saying that. Nobody in real life does percentage of.
Oh, okay. And what about clutches? Less clutches,
So
or
less clutches is more open.
Yeah.
More clutches is more closed.
yeah, okay.
That is not.
Yeah, because if you have like a clutch, like I remember from a moped back in the day that I added a clutch plate to have better grip on the clutch. Yeah. Okay, good. Then
So now you have a way more open differential, or at least on power, because you kept the ramp on cost low.
Yeah, and I made stiff dampers. Stiffer.
So in theory now you should be more skittish on the jumps and on the bumps.
Yeah.
But the inner wheel will open soon.
Yeah.
And start spinning.
Yeah.
You can even try it without traction control and see what happens. Because of the more open diff, it would be easier to control even when you are drifting a little bit.
Okay.
But you're gonna lose traction, of course.
Yeah. So this next example, we have stiffened up the dampers and we created a open differential by getting the highest power ramp angle, which makes the differential open, and the lowest preload, which would allow to have more wheel speed differences, also on the throttle, but also off the throttle, obviously. And we lowered the traction control to 0. And now we can see how the rear end wants to step out and how that inner tire starts spinning up. But also gives me control with 0 traction control. You see that jump? How the car now all of a sudden is way more settling. Earlier it was bouncing, now it's more skittish. And you can also see on the wheel telemetry how the inner tire is getting a hot patch. Also maybe this corner. You see how the car just doesn't want to settle and has no traction. The inner tire wants to spin up. Maybe this corner as well. You see that? Especially this example. You see how that inner tire is locking up or is like spinning open because it has no traction. The differential is so open. I don't know. That just looks really cool to me. How much time did is there like this people have tested this as well, and can you make, I'm not saying shortcuts, but can you make, based on things you change in the engine, say we have a very high prediction of this is gonna act out like this in the sim, or do you need to test check everything you change or do?
From my point of view, I need to test check everything because I'm new in the engine. I need to learn how the engine reacts.
Yeah.
So I'm creating specific, tests to try and see. Okay, does the engine react properly? Is there an error, or how sensitive it is?
Yeah.
Because some engines are less sensitive than others, even though they react correctly.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, but obviously the guys here had the confidence to tell me, yeah, try this, try that, it works like that, and it's all emergent. There's nothing you program specific. You program the tire model to do tire things.
Yeah.
And then those effects emerge out of the settings because the physics engine does simulate what a tire should do on a surface.
Yeah.
That's the cool stuff about it.
So yeah, I have been creating this Art of Car Setups. It's my premium car setup guide. I also shared that one with Alex Martini. When
great.
the PMR came out, and he was asking a lot of questions about it, and I just gave him the PDF because I was like, yeah, I don't know if you have time for this, but this is how I think about it. Like, I don't know if you've seen a video of mine with aerodynamic box that's like pulling the car in the balance, and it's like how I understood it or how I want to explain it. And so yeah, and I take Spa as a baseline because if you can get the car right on Spa, you can pretty much assume it's gonna act. If it survives Eau Rouge and Puhan, it pretty much, in all my testing that I did in different simulators, you'll find it will survive everywhere. You know, you got a good baseline.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, from the testing that I did, I could not really get the Austin to turn well in the Eau Rouge.
Let's try and see what we can do. Custom lobby. Yeah. And select the GT3 server.
The issue with the car, but it's really that Blasimo and the Eau Rouge where I. So
okay, so first thing to learn here is how to deal with the bump stops, which are extremely important on the GT3 cars. Right?
These ones, yeah.
And they become important into PMR for the first time, pretty much, because before that we didn't have enough aerodynamic sensitivity and pitch sensitivity, so even if you don't use them, who cares?
Okay.
But now it's a completely different thing. So the first thing to learn is, okay, how do I know what's going on? There is a practical way until we do something proper with the user interface. The practical way is that at whatever ride height you are, okay, if you go to the bump stop length, and you start racing, at some point you will see the actual ride height on the top of your screen. Okay, that it moves. You see, now it gains.
Oh yeah, so the spring is longer.
Yeah. Why is that? Yeah, because the bump stop have started, you know, touching the suspension and make it going into the bump.
Okay.
So once you see that moving, you need either a click down or 2 clicks down, depending where you are.
Yeah.
So that's a practical way to do it.
Yeah.
So you started with 35. If you put it to 40, it should move a little bit, correct?
On 40 it stays the same, but if I do 45, then it goes up.
That it moves. Okay, let's go back to 40.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's make the bump stop spring a little bit softer. So let's go down to 400.
The spring rates. This one.
Yes.
Okay. That's the the stiffness of the bump stop.
So once you are riding on the bump stop, it's a little bit softer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a couple of clicks on the rear ride height. So the rear, you know, it's 0. It's 10 on the offset. This is an offset.
Yeah.
You do a couple of clicks and you will see the rear ride height going up.
Yeah. It's from.
But put it to 12 and let's see what happens, because those things are quite sensitive.
Okay, good. And this is the changes we.
And this is the changes. Let's see how you feel it.
Like that? I saw Aris legend changes. I called the setup, so I know this was Aris. This was Aris's plan.
Now you'll see that your tires are also cold because we were waiting.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they're gonna be even a little bit more difficult initially.
But we also could have a little bit more a tricky entry on the Puhan from these changes.
Yes, definitely.
This is basically when I jump into a sim or a game that, like, it's a little bit how I want to. Like, if a sim, let's say you add bump stop ranges and you increase rear ride height and you don't get 0 changes from the car, let's say on a Puhan, then I like disregard it, you know, like, okay, that isn't working. So I think overall the car improved already on this beginning of the second sector, actually.
Nice.
I can see the changes that I made were just I didn't touch the bump stop rates, so that's maybe
right. Bump stop on the GT3 cars are extremely important. because they practically balance out the speed, the aero balance.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
Which is where the whole thing changes.
This is a lot better. Because also the exit, I don't know how that corner is called, but it's a very important exit corner.
Yeah, it's really important. Now, on PMR it's going to be different. Don't go on the green because it's slidey, and so you won't have a very good turn in. You see, you've missed the turn in if you go the green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe next lap.
Yeah.
Oh, early on the brakes. Need to be a bit later.
Suspension. And this time, we're gonna make the bump stop length shorter, so to give the suspension more space. So let's go down by 1 click.
On the rear?
35.
Or?
No, on the front. On the front. Bump stop length, front, 35.
Yeah.
And back to the rear, to the right head adjust, another 2 clicks up.
Okay, 14. And,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Now, also, like, I'm looking at the camber. I know from ACC and some other sims that, like, is 3 degrees also on the rear. Is quite aggressive camber. Is that, like, how it...
Yeah.
It's how it normally also is in the GT3?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
3.5. Yeah, usually, I mean, it's the rule set that limits the camber at the rear.
Oh, okay.
They say no more than 3.5 or 3 degrees.
Oh,
depending
okay,
on the
so
car.
they would want even more maybe, but it's not allowed.
To give you an idea, 2013 Australian V8s that you drove, right?
Yeah, it doesn't...
Michelin had to come in and tell people, please don't use our tires to more negative than -6 degrees at the front.
Okay, yeah.
And you might say, okay, it's 2013. Well, a couple of years ago, Porsche Cups with Michelin's, they didn't have any rule book set. The rears would be used to -5.5
What?
and the front to -5. Yeah.
Wow.
You would go on the races, you would
Yeah,
see the car
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
What the fuck is that stance? You know, what is it?
Yeah, but yeah.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then Michelin said, you know what? Okay, that's enough. -5 is the top limit and -4.
And they were concerned about like unsafe situations from the
Yes,
inner
because-
canvas of the tire.
Because you can have more lateral grip in those situations, but you do stress a lot the tire, especially on top of curbs and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So there is a risk of delamination, of completely blowing up the
Yeah,
tire, of fatigue stress.
Yeah. Very real. Yeah.
And you don't know when this is going to happen. It's completely random.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's try again. And it's also totally acceptable that an Austin will have some understeer. It's a front engine car, of
Well,
course.
yeah.
No, it's.
Yeah.
I don't want it to.
Although,
Doesn't have to become a Porsche, obviously, but yeah.
of course, but keep in mind that still we're talking about a mid-engine front car that still has something like 51% at the rear.
Yeah.
So it's not completely front engine.
No. Yeah, I take that curb a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It just
No,
went
but
down.
it's really really nice to. It's very satisfying to jump these curbs. Actually, you know.
It is. But then it's so dangerous because you go out into those gravel
Yeah.
and it just pulls you in, and it's really
Yeah,
dangerous.
it's creating more rotation than you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also feel in the Puhan if you're braking
You
gently.
feel how the rotation starts becoming risky now
No.
on the entry?
Yeah, it's
Not yet?
it's getting there, but I on the entry I still have my brake bias that I can maybe switch a little bit back forward maybe, or at least
Right.
that's what I'm then thinking. But that's fine. I'm losing a bit of speed here. It's getting more sensitive on the. Really feel it wants to go where I point it.
Right. Lower.
Okay. Yeah.
So front suspension, 2 clicks lower.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you could see on the telemetry as well that 2 clicks of adjustment gives me 3 millimeters of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That depends also on the stiffness of the front spring rate. So if it's stiffer, it's gonna make less.
Oh yeah.
More,
Yeah,
and so on and so forth. So now you might start having some issues.
I was thinking rear toe as well, same as the.
You have a relatively low rear toe, but you can still give it a try and make it, 0.5 or something like
Yeah,
that.
like a little bit. Yeah.
It coming a little bit, too low.
Yeah. And
How is your differential? Let's have a look.
it's the default. Yeah, you could increase the ramp to. Or I understood correctly. Yeah, you have more ramp, then it's more open on the fast
Yes,
cornering.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If you open it too much, you're gonna have problems with traction at the end.
Yeah, on slower corners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was on 60. Okay, yeah. I think that's already a few changes, right? The front ride height's pretty aggressive.
Yeah. Already, a few changes.
Yeah.
You show me the suspension for a moment. Wanna see something?
Can you? Oh, my face is in the way, or?
It's okay. I can deal it. Okay, let's try. Add a little bit of negative camber. Go to 3.8 or something.
Okay. Skin. On the rear or on the front?
At the front. Front.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome. No, I'm pressing the wrong button. Drive.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
But yeah, so I don't know until when you have time, by the way, because it's already 3:30 already.
Yeah, let's try this and then try a couple of things then.
Yeah.
I guess.
We can keep driving forever.
Yeah. Eliminate completely the bump stop length. Put it to 0.
On a front and rear?
Rear doesn't matter, just front.
Okay, front. Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, and put your slow bump down to something like I don't know, 6. So slightly softer than the rebound, which is the traditional way of setting the downforce.
Yeah.
But not in high downforce cars.
Faster in, slowly out. Yeah.
Yeah. But in high downforce cars, you usually want the opposite.
Okay.
Because you want to control the pitch. So now you have a traditionally made setup for a non-aerodynamic sensitive car.
Okay.
Go out and drive.
Okay, good. Interesting.
Yellow flag. Be careful.
Aris got a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I was also almost dying, so it was like I think I was on.
You saw how you were lightweight on the top of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are on cold tires as well, so the front understeers, but you still get enough good front end. You see how it tends to
Yeah.
go
But
sideways?
it's fun.
Yeah.
What should be happening then? Should I lose control at some point, or would?
It depends, because we still have very stiff front suspension. And there you are, and there I am as well. You see,
Yeah.
it happened directly on the very high speed turning.
Yeah, and that's
High
that.
speed, yeah.
And that's that like movement is now allowed to happen with the soft slow bump. There's not a lot of resistance, so the front can pitch, and the rear unsettles, and that's it.
In all the slow corners, it was manageable because you had enough, mechanical grip.
Yeah.
But on the high-speed corner, as soon as it went, into pitch,
Yeah.
the whole front, the whole aero moved to the front.
Yeah,
the rear
yeah.
became lighter, and you just
Yeah. It's very well made, actually. I really like that. I mean, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I can understand on like a lot of deeper levels, like that's what you expect to happen, and it happens. So that's like, yeah, really good.
And now, for example, you can go at the turn-in of the Aurus, all right? And it will work, because at the turn-in, you're still flat out. You don't want to lift. If you lift, you're dead. But you want to be flat out. So you can go in and you can make the Aurus wonderfully. But then when you go up, right?
Yeah.
And up, you going into the curbs and you start moving around the curbs. The rear end, because it has now space to move,
Yeah.
it's gonna instantly unbalance you.
Yeah.
It's gonna become really difficult.
So this is maybe even more advanced question. What if I just got like, okay, this is happening now, but let's just stiffen up the rear rebound to prevent the rear from unpitching. Would that save me?
Do this. Stiffen at the maximum the rear rebound and stiffen at the maximum the front slow bump.
Now we reduced all the pitch movement, right? From the a little
up to a point.
Yeah.
And the damper will, and eventually the damper will let you go down.
Yeah.
But the initial will not be as sudden. It will be more gradual.
Yeah.
Give it a try. Let's see.
Yeah, we would just like with the lots of testing in the sim was already like going very extreme on rebound. See if I can add even more ride height to the car, you know, and doing all this fun stuff, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, this is actually still good. But with these bump settings, you would see a lot more tire load sensitivity on the slow corners because of the hard bump, obviously.
Yes, you're probably gonna lose some mechanical grip with that, and have some, you know, bouncing around on the curves.
Yeah. Yeah, can you see on my on the webcam maybe the shadows? Is that something that's gonna be addressed? Because now it's like a black line, or is it a setting problem I have? You can see on the trees.
The movement, the movement of the shadows. This is something that we would like to improve, definitely. It depends. All right, you made it.
Yeah.
It depends also on the console, because what you see here also goes to console, and of course there's much less hardware.
Yeah.
So at some point there will be in a safe place in console. We might start to say, okay, how we can improve this for the PC that doesn't need to do that, you know.
Bring the stiffness of the bump stops, and obviously ride heights, not necessarily, but also I think it's also super interesting because I always thought that if you have ride height, for instance, the adjustment on 0, if I now add bump stop length, the car would be able to pitch more, but it's also bringing up the front ride height. That's an important distinction, that it changes that as well. So that's
yeah, you don't want to ride completely on the bump stop. You want to have some compliance with the suspension, work with the damper, so work the whole system together to find the best possible compromise. As you saw, it is possible to ride without bump stops and have very stiff bumps, but you know, you need to make everything work together and find the best possible way.
Cool. Awesome. Well, what if you are still watching this video up to this point, I want to kind of point out that when I opened this new update and I started driving it, I was like, I need to get used to how the sim operates, how it feels, but I'm getting a lot of ACC vibes with this, and I trap myself, or I catch myself enjoying especially these GT4s on Zolder a lot. And again, it gives me ACC vibes, but there's more depth. Obviously, there are a million things that might need to be fixed in this game, but yeah, I mean, check it out, because this update and the suspension and the car setup stuff, it's 10 miles deeper than it was. So chances are I have a new video for PMR, and that one I will put up here when that is ready. Come on, click it. PMR is the future, mate. Okay, it's too early to tell, but it could be.